Breaking censorship news, boys. So Steam is back to banning games for payment processors, and they have finally responded. And it is getting worse by the day. Steam keeps censoring games. They banned this one for its cover. For context, Steam is back to banning games, and this game, Red Pine Lake, has announced what is going on. They said this image is the reason our Steam page has not been approved. This image is now classed as too mature for according to Steam, so now we can not have the page ready in time for the event and would need to censor our marketing, screenshots, etc. This is what censorship is coming to in the games industry, and we have to ask now, is it worth it for them to move the goalpost down the line? This is the image in question. Evidently now, a woman's body clothed is too mature for Steam. Think of the kids. It's another think of the children excuse for Steam to bend to payment processors and ruin small games and small development teams' hard work. We could have all remade and hope they accept it, but where will it stop? We would need to redo the networking too if we move platform. But do you really want a censored game? Because we don't. And no, we don't. None of us actual gamers that this indie game is marketing towards actually want a censored game. It is ridiculous. What kind of kid is going to be playing Red Pine Lake? This is for adults. Gaming is for adults. You have to be an adult and have a credit card to purchase said game. But of course, they continue with anyone on any platform they recommend or publishers that can handle mature content. Let us know. We are sorry about this. We worked hard to get something ready that we can't even share, but we do have one thing that is playable that we will announce for Halloween, and it continues. It gets worse because of course Steam is continuing to ban games. They said important censorship news. Steam is once again removing games from their platform. It appears it's Japanese games getting targeted at the moment, and now it has moved on to, of course, Red Pine Lake. We all know this is thanks to what payment processors did to Valve a few months back. Censorship has happened again. This is ridiculous. Since when is a payment processors telling adults what they can and cannot purchase? We're all adults here. We all have our own credit cards, our own IDs. We do not need Visa and MasterCard and BlackRock sitting behind the scenes telling us what we can and cannot purchase as mature adults. If you want to play a game that is mature, you should be allowed to, and Steam should not be censoring them to take that choice from you. It is ridiculous. No one needs daddy government or daddy business to decide what is safe content for mature adults to not only purchase but to make. And what Steam and Valve has been like lately. We are actively seeing the death of creative freedom within gaming, anime, and manga. It's sad seeing people actively fine with censorship. It is. You should not be fine with censorship as an adult, and Steam should not be a platform that is licking the boot of payment processors simply to appease them so that they can control what adults can and cannot purchase. Probably making a video on this stuff today. If you have any more information, share it in the comments. And obviously this is ridiculous. It is insane. But Steam's response is what is actually ridiculous. Steam's response is beyond unhinged. It makes no sense. They go with the think of the children's argument yet again because they don't actually care about your rights and freedoms as an adult or of the artist that is actually making the game. And the payment processors seem to care more about what you can and can't purchase as a mature adult than they do about actually you making the freaking purchase. But of course, they say, think of the kids. Women are instantly sexual regardless of their clothing. It is ridiculous. But again, breaking censorship news. Steam's team responded on the reason why games are getting rejected lately. Steam's staff response was, images of a woman's behind is indeed sexual in nature regardless of what she's wearing. So now a woman's body, according to Steam, is inherently sexual no matter what she is wearing, even if it is, this, which is insane to me because it is ridiculous. She is literally in a one-piece bathing suit, not a two-piece. It looks like a one-piece bathing suit in a lake. So evidently you can't even have that nowadays because of course, to payment processors, women's bodies are inherently sexual. In summary, women wearing clothing is enough to get your game censored, and and removed from Steam. This is not a good look for Valve Steam. No, it's not. It's terrible. It is absolutely terrible. We need a different company to come along and actually bring these games forward, because obviously we cannot trust Steam to do their jobs, because they are so infiltrated with this mindset that they decide what kind of woman's clothing is too apparent. Obviously that one is not too apparent, but let's hear it from a woman's mouth. Vera Dark, she says, so now women's butts are too graphic. Next, is it going to be ankles, shoulders, wrists? This is why I always say censorship is a slippery slope. We've now gotten to the point where a woman's body is more offensive than the games with gore and violence. And of course, she's right. It is insane. It is ridiculous. How can we even have got to here in the big 2025 where you can't even post a game of a woman in a bathing suit for a horror game? This looks like a scary game, and it was made for Halloween. And now, of course, the entire company has to go through and remake everything, or go to a different, a different platform to promote their game on, which costs even more money. And this is an indie game, people. This is a small indie game, and of course, to them, this is how ridiculous it is. This is going to be okay on YouTube, and YouTube is one of the most heavily censored freaking platforms with restrictions that there is, and this is not even okay on Steam. Are you kidding me? This where have we come to in the big 2025? What kind of simulation are we in where you can't even make a game with this as your cover? Nothing in the game is the problem. They said the cover is the problem. You tell me in the comments down below what cover, what part of this cover is actually a problem for this indie game, especially knowing it's a horror game and it is on Halloween and it's made for it's a mature game. This is insane. How is that not acceptable on the platform? But of course, Savvy down here says it sure didn't take long to go from think of the kids to women are just sexual. Yeah. Talk about not being quote unquote politically correct. And for Steam, that has been literally infiltrated by that politically correct mindset, you can see where it leads to. It leads to extremism, to where now women's bodies, no matter what clothing, are inherently sexual, and you can't have their butt on the cover. Hilarious. But of course, Michelle says men in bathing suits are fine. It's just women who are shamed for being female by so-called feminist activists, manipulated by men who force themselves into our spaces, ignored by major magazines who put men on the cover and call them women of the year. Regressive. Yeah. It is absolutely regressive. It is insane. It is ridiculous. They will start only allowing sexual content of non-human characters, not just censorship, also conditioning for other preferences. This is reason why you can't show a beautiful woman but can have a huge tit spider. Yeah. Any alternative out there for future references? New game devs, please make your own clients so we don't have to pass through Steam. None of us people playing the game actually want it censored. That is Steam that wants it censored. But the majority of the people that play these games, that are going to play your game, do not want it censored. We want to see what you want to make. We want to see what the artist has to offer us. We don't want to see them constrict themselves and put themselves inside a little censorship box to make sure that they don't cross over any lines that are too dangerous. No player wants that. A player wants stimulation, fear, excitement, and yes, even gore. That is what a horror game is. It's supposed to scare you. It's supposed to stimulate you in a million different ways. But we can't have that because the artist is so confined to this little censorship box to now they can't even post a single simple cover of a woman in a one-piece bathing suit. Like, are you kidding me? But let's read Steam's response for themselves. So here they say, message from the Steam team on October 30th. If you look long enough, I'm sure you'll find plenty of other partners who are breaking our rules and guidelines. Almost like it's, not fair, almost like they pick and choose who they want to punish, and they all of a sudden just seem to punish people, games of a certain genre. And they continue here, focusing the topic of the image on a woman's behind is indeed sexual by nature, regardless of what she's wearing. Are you kidding me? This is the most insane, out of touch response from Steam that I've ever seen. Your graphical assets can be viewed by everyone on the platform and should be appropriate for the store. As you can see here, Steam has absolutely lost the freaking plot. They have lost the plot. They have went down an avenue that we never thought was freaking possible, which is going towards censorship in a way that, of course, is created for them by payment processors, and they are bending the knee and licking the boot. But of course, Red Pine Lake responds more here, saying to Chibi Reviews, saying, "Thank you for posting the screenshot. I will be making a video on this topic ASAP." They say, "You're welcome. Thank you for covering it. We have been hesitant to share everything as there is another issue we are inquiring about, but they seem to be ignoring major points now. Let us know if you need more, just for context and just to relieve any doubts. We are being upfront." This is ridiculous. And look, you can see they're afraid to share. They continue, "We have more. Just being cautious about what we share in case they use it as a cause to not reach a solution. Also, there is another issue, but let us know what you need. I'm sure we can sort it." And they are obviously terrified because it seems a little one-sided by Steam. But what do y'all think about that, boys? Paper or plastic? Comment down below. I'm gonna go with plastic. I think it's plastic as fuck. It's plastic through and through. Make sure you like the video and subscribe, boys. That's gonna be it for me. I love all of you. GG's, boys. Peace.